Welcome to the Becks, a podcast that explores multimedia horror with hosts Becky and Sydney. Join us as we talk about movies, books, video games, music, and much, much more.
Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Sydney Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Snow.
And we're the Becks. This week we're talking about the Lawnmower Man.
The Lawnmower Man, that neither of us knew it existed until yesterday.
Yeah,
Literally.
But it's okay because it's hilarious and terrible and scary.
Oh, it's so bad. But thanks to Lauren, shout out to Lauren for suggesting it.
Yes, thank you very much. Because this is going to be fun to talk about. That's all there is to it. This is not a highbrow movie. If you're looking for cinema,
don't watch this.
No. So, okay, I had a hard time getting into this movie, but at about the hour point, I reluctantly was very sucked into the plot, and I only got kind of taken out of it a couple times by truly absurd things. But the rest of it I was kind of on board with. Like, once I got used to what the movie was, I was able to somewhat suspend my disbelief and just watch it for what it is. I'm still confused about the tone of this movie because it's so absurd at times that it seems like it should be a horror comedy, but they don't play it like a horror comedy at all.
No. Would they call it a horror sci-fi thriller or
it's a sci-fi horror movie.
No. I don't even know.
Tell the audience about the plot of this beautiful, wonderful movie.
You have this company that's doing virtual reality. So it's really funny because virtual reality is becoming a very huge thing.
This movie came out in 1992, by the way.
Yeah. So they're talking about how virtual reality is going to do this and that. They're actually using apes to test it, but they're giving them medications to make them smarter.
Yeah, they're like psychotropic drugs.
Yeah. I don't know about yours, because I watched the much longer version, because apparently
we should have talked about
two versions.
Yeah, we should have talked about it more beforehand. I saw that there was a director's cut, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
I just looked up on Prime, because Lauren told me it was on Prime, and I believe that was the only one, because I saw it, and I clicked on it, and that was well over 2 hours, and that was way too long. Where Sydney got into it, I had a really hard time. There was a lot of rewinding going on for Becky. A lot of rewinding. But anyways, the plot is there's this company, they're doing this. The monkey goes crazy. And then we go from there. The guy that's the hero, he's supposed to be so good. And Pierce Brosnan, by the way, a young Pierce Brosnan.
He's hot in this movie.
But only with his glasses on.
True, yeah. The glasses do a lot of heavy lifting, weirdly.
They step over a line they shouldn't step over. First of all, with the apes, they really step over a line. They make them extremely aggressive. They're going to make them into soldiers. You know how we do.
Which he was against.
He was against, but then he started doing experiments on a human. So we'll get there. But this is where we go. Yeah.
So the other main character in this movie, his name is Job, and he is a mentally handicapped younger guy. He's an adult.
The language in this surprised me.
Oh, yeah, because don't they talk about, they say retard, don't they?
Yeah, quite a bit.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
Which is not PC.
Absolutely not. As Pierce Brosnan sitting there at one point, he says, well, what was the monkey's name? I don't remember.
Roscoe.
Yes, why did Roscoe get close to the retarded man? And I'm like, what did you just say?
So that must be part of the director's cut, because
wasn't in.
Did Job interact with the apes at all?
Yeah.
What? Okay, holy shit. What?
Like the whole first part of the movie was Job and the apes.
Are you serious?
Yes. What is going on? Wait.
They told me.
Okay, so the whole movie starts out with they're in the lab, the monkey's doing its thing. Well, then they put him away at night, and he gets out. Like, he steals a badge. And
the monkey does.
Yes, and he has a headset on. And he goes and he kills a couple of the people there.
Yes.
He sees them as a threat in his little headset.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes off, gets out of the building, and he finds Job in Job's garden at the church.
Oh my God, this did not happen at all.
He calls him Cybo-Man.
The ape does?
No.
Oh, Job
calls
the
ape Cybo-Man because he's got the headset on. Apparently, Job's really into comic books.
Yes.
And so he's like, Cybo-Man, you're hurt, Cybo. And the monkey's looking at him, and then he says, of course, threat, because every human at that point is a threat. But then he looks at him in the eyes, and he notices that his pupils aren't showing aggression. And so his reaction goes down to not a threat. And he walks right up to Job, and Job's like, oh, Cybo-Man, why are you here? And then a helicopter flies over, and Job's like, oh, you can hide in my shed, Cybo-Man. They won't find you there. You're bleeding, you're hurt, because they shot him. And so he takes him into the shed, and they're hiding out.
I'm sorry, I am floored by this right now.
This goes on even longer. So the priest gets all mad because there's ants in the church, and he's calling Job all sorts of names. You know, how he's ungrateful and this and that. And he goes out to the shed, which is Job's home.
Yes.
And he hears him talking to somebody, and he hears the chimp making noises. So he climbs up on this ladder and looks in the window, and then calls the police and says, there's a strange animal at the church. So that's how they find Roscoe. And they try to get Job to come out with the monkey, and he said, no, you're going to hurt him. Those men are bad. Well, Pierce Brosnan's character, what's his name again?
I don't know what his first name is.
He says, oh, I know who Job is. He mows my lawn. So he tries to talk Job into bringing out Roscoe and tells him it's going to be fine. He's not going to be hurt. He just wants to take him back, this and that. And so he comes out the door hanging on to the chimp like he's carrying him. And the chimp gets scared because he sees Pierce Brosnan, and he knows that he's the one putting him through all these tests. And he doesn't like it. So he goes to run off, and they shoot him to death in front of Job. And so Job is sobbing and very upset. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't happen in the theatrical cut at all. The monkey dies immediately, like, off screen. Like, he goes through, like, shows him trying to get through the facility and escape, but he never makes it out.
Oh, no, he makes it out, and he climbs a tree trying to get away, and they shoot him, and he falls out of the tree.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So then Job witnessed all that, and then Dr. Lawrence Angelo is Pierce Brosnan's character's name. He decides, like, oh, I'll take this traumatized man and do the same experiments on him.
Yeah.
Whereas in the theatrical cut, it's not like that. After Roscoe dies, he doesn't want his work to go to waste, basically. And he kind of reflects at one point with his little audio journals that he keeps, that he's like, oh, what I could have done, what I could have accomplished with a human.
He feels the same way in the director's cut. Not only does the priest abuse Job?
Yes.
Okay, so right after Roscoe was killed, the priest comes and gets him and tells him he can't do that kind of thing. What was he thinking? Blah, blah, blah. Then he asks him what will make him remember that he can't do this. And so Job hands him a belt, and he beats Job.
So that happens in the theatrical release because he didn't get rid of the ants.
Oh, see, no, it's because he brought the monkey there. So then he's at Angelo's house mowing the lawn, and things start to get in his head. He finds out that he likes games, so he invites him in to play games with the neighbor boy.
Peter.
Yes. And so they play games, and he's sad because he loses, and so then that gives him his in, and he's like, I can make you smarter. Mm-hmm. I know you want to be smarter. Then people can't take advantage of you. And so that's when he agrees to let him do what he's doing. He did say to him, you're not going to do to me what you did to Cybo-Man, right? He calls him a Cybo-Man because of the comic books. Yeah. Cybo-Man.
He's into comics and stuff in the movie, but they don't give a reason for it. It's just he's got a kind of childlike innocence to him.
Oh, 100%.
And he's a ward of the church.
Yeah.
And so he can't really live on his own.
That's how he is in the director's cut too, but
it's wild to me that
Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, that's wow. Okay. Again, the experiments include an aggression factor. So when Angelo redesigns the treatments for Job, he takes that out.
Yeah, he does in the director's cut too.
And Job immediately starts changing.
It's almost instantaneous, right?
He is more confident in himself. He's more outgoing socially because I think he feels like he can hold his own better. And he remarks to Angelo at one point, like, "Oh, I think people are noticing that I'm changing." And Angelo's like, "Well, don't do anything too crazy."
Job is extremely picked on. Like, the younger kids really like him, and they're kind to him. And there are quite a few adults that are kind to him, but there's also people that are super mean to him, especially that jerk at the gas station.
Yeah. He does landscaping work with another man who is very kind to him.
Yes, he encourages him for everything.
Yeah.
But he has this one man that's super mean, probably his own age, and all he does is call him names and push him around and bullies him, and because he's mentally handicapped.
Yeah, it's really
horrible.
Yeah. So Angelo is kind of doing all of these experiments under the table a little bit. He has this guy who kind of oversees his work named Tim's. And he does still report to him the progress and stuff like that, which is ultimately a mistake because Tim's works for the shop, which is the overarching, like, militarized version of the company that they all work for. And so you have this one character he's just on a screen most of the time, and he's the most over-the-top villain man that... And the guy who plays him does that too. It's like he affects this certain way of speaking that's just so villainous. I had to laugh every time this guy was on screen because he was just so over the top.
He was pretty over the top.
Which, that brings me to going back to, like, I couldn't figure out the tone of this movie because most of the performances were really good and they played them pretty straight. But that one in particular was just really hokey. So, I don't know if it was just...
Yeah, even his facial features were always like big eyes and just, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you can just, imagine. Crazy man.
Eventually, Job comes across this lady. He does her yard. And this is what cracked me up. So, they're doing all these experiments and he's getting the drugs and the virtual reality shit. Somehow he gets jacked.
Yeah, right? Yeah, like his entire body is, he's got a nice body.
Yeah.
But.
And so the lady her name is Marnie.
Marnie.
Yeah. She's like super into him. And this made me really uncomfortable.
Oh, it made me uncomfortable too. I'm like, because she was hitting on him before he had really received much of the treatment. So he was still intellectually disabled.
Very childlike.
Yeah. She was eating a peach or something and
it was
very graphically sexual towards him. And he was eating, and it's right when he had like the first treatment. So he had become more intelligent, but he still was a child.
Yeah.
And he didn't even know what was happening. He just stared at her like, what's going on? You could tell he just didn't understand it. But she was after him, and that was it.
Well, and she knew, too, that he was different, let's say. She invites him up for lemonade, quote unquote. And she's like, "Have you ever kissed a girl, Job?" And he says no, and then it's, they have sex, and it's really uncomfortable.
No, the really uncomfortable part, is it in the movie? Does she ask him to give her his tongue?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, gross.
That was really
Give me your tongue. And
he just sticks it out, and then she just...
It was so bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening right now?
I feel bad for the actors, because a lot of times scenes take more than one take. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, like, no.
Ugh.
But anyway, it just felt pretty rapey to me, because at that point, at least, he didn't really know what the connotation was.
No.
And she was a grown-ass woman, so I had issues with that. And the movie never really brings it up again. So it's not like the movie kind of said, hey, that was fucked up what just happened. I guess
do they stay together till the end?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. They do in this one, too. Like, they fall in love.
I don't know if Job loves her. I don't know. I just don't know.
Or he's obsessed with her because, like, he was really upset.
So, later on, he decides he wants to show her the cool virtual reality stuff that he does. And they basically try to have cyber sex. But it, like, totally lobotomizes her. Something weird happens. I don't know. He
becomes a monster in the cyber world. And like attacks her.
Like, he says before that, like, oh, I know what you really want. You're weird, or, like...
Yeah, because he said he can read her thoughts, so he knows what her fantasies are.
Yeah, so at first, he gets smarter, and then throughout the movie, you see that he starts to be able to read people's thoughts, and then eventually it upgrades to telepathy as well, telekinesis. So he can, not only can he read minds, but he can move objects without touching them.
And the thing is, some things change that nobody knows about. Angelo doesn't know about it. Job doesn't know about it.
Yeah, because Tim's got involved once he revealed to, like, the director guy all the different progress that was happening. The director guy was like, you need to reintroduce those aggression factors because we want to use this for war.
Yeah, so they did. So Angelo and Job didn't know it. So when they were having their cyber sex, he got super aggressive. Because he says to her after she's totally... He tells her, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I could hurt you. I don't know what happened. I was told I couldn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, that nothing could be...
Yeah.
Yeah, no harm could come to them in that virtual realm.
So he felt very bad. I think he really cared about her. Maybe not. Maybe she was just...
But later on, though, this is what's funny is, like, well, he just leaves her at her house. And then later on in the movie, they talk about how she was just wandering around the neighborhood naked.
Yeah.
And laughing.
Yeah. Well, that's awful.
So, I feel like if he really cared about her, he would have put her someplace where she would have been cared for.
But I do think he cared about her, but because they had introduced that aggression part of it, he started caring about nobody.
He was just so consumed by revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at this point, he goes on a killing spree.
So he gets to be super smart. He basically lobotomizes his girlfriend.
On accident.
On accident, not on purpose. He was just trying to have fun with her. And then he decides that he's going to get revenge because she has been hurt. And he's realizing what is happening to him.
Yeah, he loads himself up with a bunch of the drugs.
Yeah.
And
then suddenly has a very cool suit that he's wearing.
It's the suit he always wears when he goes into the little, like,
But
gyroscope
now he
things.
looks like a superhero, but a bad one. The Lawnmower Man.
Every time he uses his powers, the little light strips on his suit light up. It's pretty cool.
Yep. See, now, when he met Roscoe... He said to Roscoe, Sable Man, you can call me Lawnmower Man. Everybody does. Where did you find out that he was called the Lawnmower Man?
It was nothing... I don't even know if it was mentioned one time.
What the heck? Yeah, he even says it. You can call me the Lawnmower Man. Everybody does, because I mow lawns.
I think maybe... No, I don't really remember. I think maybe it was mentioned offhand one time that people call him the Lawnmower Man, but I'm not sure. He loads himself up with a bunch of the psychotropic drugs, goes through the program again, and once he comes out of the other side, that's when he decides to do his whole killing spree. He actually, at one point, Angelo confronts him and, man, you're having a psychotic break. You need to slow your roll. Like, one of the first signs of that is a Christ complex. And then Job was like, Cyber Christ. Which killed me.
Yeah, that was great.
I know we're talking about it and it's funny, but keep in mind, the movie plays this so straight.
Yeah, like there's no humor.
It's so serious.
It's crazy. Also, we have to go back a little bit, too, because Job gets really close to Peter, who is the next-door neighbor of Angelo.
Yes.
He's a little boy. He's 10 years old. His mom and dad and him live next door to Angelo, but his dad's abusive.
Yeah,
like, getting very angry and mean and...
really rough with him.
If you could hear that, it's thundering.
Ooh.
So he's very close to Peter. They play games together with Angelo. He watches them and lets them play games in the cyber world. And they get along very well.
Yes.
So
They're friends.
They are friends. But the dad keeps getting more and more abusive, and Peter is making it known to the neighbors. And it seems like Angelo's very close to the mom. He has a woman in his life, but he seems super close to the mom.
I know, towards the end, I was like, oh, they got, like, a thing. They don't overtly ever do that, like, say it, or there's no, like, romantic overtures or anything like that, but
No.
especially at the end, I'm like, oh, a cute little fun family moment. Like, I love to see it, because his girlfriend leaves him at the beginning of the movie. I don't know if they're married. I think they were married. I think she divorces him. Obviously, the chimp dies, and it's a huge blow to his work because he spent years working with this chimp. And so he goes into like a deep depression because Tim's tells him like, okay, you need to take a break. We'll come back to this later. And his wife doesn't seem super supportive. She doesn't seem very empathetic to it at all.
Does she come down in the basement and yell at him about being in the game all the time?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I think she was just fed up that she's like, everything is virtual. She said, you're flying, you're dancing. How long is it going to be before you're fucking in that virtual world? Ooh, I swore.
Well, you were quoting, so it doesn't really count.
And then they start making out, and then that just ends abruptly, and they get in a screaming match again, and she's gone. She comes back at the end.
She does?
Oh, no! I don't think she really ever left him. Yeah, she was in the movie. There were little parts, but at the end, when he goes on his killing spree, he makes her kind of goofy, too.
What?
And Angelo comes home. He's looking for Job.
Wait, hang on. Does Job ever interact with her outside of when he lobotomizes her?
Well, it doesn't really show that he lobotomizes her, but
he did something to her.
He did something to her. He can mind control. He can change people's thoughts. That's the thing that happens. Okay?
There is a little brief thing.
Yeah. Well, he does her, because Angelo comes home looking for Job after he goes crazy, and he confronts him, and he goes looking for him. It's after he talks to the police. So we'll get there. But after he talks to the police and finds out about everything that's going on, he comes back to the house. Where's Job? Where's Job? Like, he thinks he's just going to go to the house. He saw him walk into the house, so he thought he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's standing there. She's like, hi, honey. How are you? I am making you a wonderful meal. And she totally was not herself. It was bad.
No, she's gone. Like, within the first 15
she's
minutes.
Right up until the end there. Yeah, she's in the movie.
That's wild. Okay. Yeah, she never returns.
Like, they show her at the point where Peter and Job are playing the games, and Job beats Peter. Did you see that scene?
Yes.
Okay. She's literally watching, like, from the outskirts. Like, she sees it.
No.
Oh, well, she's there. Oh, boy.
Oh, my gosh.
So, anyway, she's a happy little housewife and thinks everything's great at the end.
What is the point of that?
What is the point of anything?
Okay, but I mean, plot-wise, why did Job do that?
Because she was so miserable, maybe?
Huh.
He was making her happy? I don't know.
So, the first kill that Job does is the priest.
Yeah.
And, which is deserved, because the priest was an abusive piece of shit. And actually, Job says some really cool things in this scene. He kind of implies that he's Satan-ish, but also not. And so the priest immediately starts confessing all of his sins, thinking that it's going to save him or whatever.
Oh, man, that was something.
And he talks about all sorts of things, one of which was that he was a molesterer, and so Job lights him on fire. Which begs the question, the movie really glossed over that. Did he molest Job?
I'm thinking...
that the implication?
I would think so.
Ugh. See, there's parts of this movie that I think could have been explored more. Not that I want to know about the priest molesting Job, but it's like some stuff they gloss over and some stuff they spend so long on, and it's weird the choices that they make. You know what I mean?
That's true, yeah.
So, yeah, he lights the priest on fire, and then his next kill is he goes to the gas station to kill his bully, and he uses his telekinesis to wrap him up in the gas pumps. This is when he calls himself Lawnmower Man. I think this is the only time it happens.
Ah, see, no, it happened before that, so.
He looks deeply into this guy's eyes and is like, I'll always be on your mind. You'll always think of Lawnmower Man. And then it's this graphic, this
cartoon
By
graphic.
the way, the CGI in this film is terrible, even for 1992. Can you do me a favor and look up when Jurassic Park came out?
Sure. 1993.
Okay, so Jurassic Park came out a year after this movie.
But they only had a $10 million budget. Isn't that what you said?
Don't care. I don't care. The point is, if you're going to make a movie like this, then you need the budget to back it up. Because the computer graphics in this movie are awful. They're terrible. They're really bad.
I agree. But Jurassic Park actually had a $63 million budget.
Okay, so it had a little bit more money behind it.
A little bit more money.
Whatever.
But this graphic is this head. It's supposed to be Job's head.
Yeah.
And his mouth is a lawnmower. The lawnmower blades. Almost, not even like spinning blades. It's the round blades that you push. Like an old time lawnmower is what it looked like. Mm-hmm. Just spinning. And so he doesn't really kill him, though, does he? He just leaves him in that state where all he's going to see is the Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, it mows his brain.
Yeah. Weird.
And then he kills Peter's dad, which also is deserved.
That was a scene.
That was pretty absurd. He telepathically uses his... So he, like, custom made this lawnmower before he got all the psychotropic drugs and stuff. Mm-hmm. So Job was smart.
He told Cybo Man that if he needed anything fixed, he was the man for the deal.
Yeah.
When Roscoe was in his house, that's what he told him. Cybo Man, if you need me to fix something, I am the guy. I fix things. Cybo Man.
He goes after this guy with his custom-made lawnmower and chews him up.
But it chews everything up in the way.
It does, yeah.
He puts Peter and the mom to sleep with his telepathic powers.
Yeah, I guess because he didn't want them to be traumatized by it.
Yeah. But they just wake up and find him all lawnmowered. When the cops are there, the coroner walks up and is like, where's the rest of him? Bird bath.
That's another scene where I'm like, okay, this is a horror comedy, right? But it's the only...
I know.
The sheriff was so funny.
He was so hilarious.
Funny.
That was a great scene.
Yeah, the whole scene was really funny. He's like, whole town's gone schizophrenic. Got a bunch of fucked up murders that happen. And then Job telepathically convinces them that it was all just a terrible accident, which happens right when Angela was talking to them about it. So they're like, man, what a terrible group of murders. 2 seconds later, just a bunch of unfortunate accidents. And of course, Angela was like, what? You just said they were murders. And the sheriff's like, no, they weren't.
Yeah, we'll just file an easy report and we're done. It's all good. It was funny. But yeah, the sheriff's like, yeah, priest spontaneously combusted. You know, that happens sometimes.
So, Job, he restrains Angela so he can't stop him. He's like, I'm going to go into the mainframe and I'll be everywhere and the whole world will witness my birth and all this drama and stuff.
Says he's going to direct the humans because they don't do things right.
Yeah, which...
There's the Cybo Christ.
Yes.
Cyber Christ.
Cyber Christ.
Cybo Man, Cyber Christ. I don't know, I'm confused.
So obviously that's kind of bad.
Kind of, just a little.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And Angela gets freed. I guess he doesn't tie him up very good. I don't know. And he recruits Peter and his mom to take him to the facility. And Job convinces his other maintenance friend to drive him. And Job, like, makes them all see bees. So they kind of panic. And the gate's already open. He opened that with his mind. But one of the guards gets off a lucky shot and kills his friend.
Which really upset him.
Yeah. I mean, I was upset.
I was
like,
too, because he was funny.
He was just an innocent guy. He didn't... Job was controlling him, but I don't think Job needed to. Like, if Job had just been normal and been like, hey, could you give me a ride? Probably would have given him a ride.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Also, earlier in the movie, he literally drove himself places, so I don't understand why he couldn't have driven himself.
I don't either. Yeah, because his buddy, taught him to drive.
I guess Cyber Christ can't lower himself to drive himself places. That doesn't make any sense.
Cyber Christ.
So then he hooks in, but Angelo had hacked into the place earlier and, like, he basically cut off the Institute from the rest of the world, from the rest of the internet, so he couldn't get in. The shop had tried to grab both Angelo and Job to continue the experiments, progress them, I don't know. But they weren't successful because Job, like, atomized them, which was fucked up, actually.
Yeah, kind of, for sure.
It seemed like a really messed up way to die because they were aware of it.
Uh-huh.
Being broken up into a million different pieces.
I don't think I'd want that.
So, Job hooks himself up into the thingy, the gyrosphere.
Thingy.
And the headset. And his body squeezes him out of, like, his consciousness out of his body. It's weird.
It is super weird.
There's, like, a husk left behind.
That's really gross.
And
that was the one part that I was like, oh.
Then he's just virtual at that point.
Yeah.
But that also means...
Pure energy.
Yeah, pure energy. But that also means that he can't interact with the real world, which they immediately... they immediately throw that out. So Angelo comes in and gets into the virtual space with him and confronts him. And Job, like, tries to kill him, but can't because he's outside of the... Which, again, doesn't make sense because he killed his girlfriend on accident.
We didn't kill her. He just messed with her head.
Well, okay. So he could have...
I think what happened was she got so scared, she lost it. You know, that supposedly can happen. Your mind can get fucked up from shit.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, I think that's what happened to her. He scared her. Because she kept saying, stop, 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 I'm scared. And he kept going as this weird monster thing.
Yeah.
And I think he just terrified her to the point that she lost her mind.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess Angelo wasn't... I mean, he was scared of Job, but at that point he was, like, willing to do anything to stop him. So he even kind of, like, is smugly tells Job, like, oh, now that you're pure energy, you can't interact with the physical world with your telepathy anymore. Like, you can't do anything. And the whole time Job is trying to escape, and he's not able to. Like, everything is, like, access denied, whatever.
Yeah, there's, like, these different tubes or whatever that he's trying to open to get into, and none of them will let him in.
Yeah, to get into the...
He's getting pretty upset about it, too.
Yeah.
Because he has to do that to have ultimate power.
Mm-hmm. It's at this point that they realize that Peter's in the building. Because he's looking for both of them.
Yeah, and the building's about to explode.
Yeah, Angelo had planted explosives that he had gotten from the people who had tried to take him and Job back to the shop. I don't know why they had explosives. Plot armor, that's why. So when Peter and his mom had dropped him off, Peter was super worried about Job. So Peter was really worried about Job, and Angelo was like, I'm going to get him. It'll be fine. Because Angelo's a liar. And Peter didn't really believe him. So after Angelo had been gone a while and Peter's mom had fallen asleep, he ran in after them.
Mm-hmm.
And Angelo was like, well, you're not going to let Peter die, are you? You know, trying to appeal to Job's...
Which Job panicked because he loved Peter.
He did, yeah. That was his best friend. Peter had gotten lost and, like, trapped behind a locked door. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, okay, they immediately threw out the fact that he couldn't interact with the physical world anymore because he opens the fucking door. I guess it could be argued it was an electronic door lock. So, like, if he was electronic. But on that same vein, if he can fuck with electronic shit, he should have been able to kill Angelo.
Well, yeah.
Or hurt him or whatever. But he's still trying to escape this whole time. Angelo grabs Peter. They're running. Shit's exploding. And you think that the building explodes before Job can get out. But it
doesn't.
It doesn't.
He's pushing all the things, trying to get in. And at the very last second, access was granted.
Yeah. He was able to zip on out of there.
Yeah.
So... the end of this movie is just basically Angelo's wrapping up his study in the basement, and Peter, and Peter's mom are going to go somewhere.
Yeah, and he's finishing his last recording of his audio
journal.
Yeah.
And then the phone rings.
Yes, as they're heading up the stairs, the phone rings.
And then all the phones are ringing.
Everywhere in the whole world.
Yes, because Job had gotten out. Dun dun dun!
Dun dun dun!
Cyber Christ / Lawnmower Man. Lawnmower Christ. There was some other Jesus imagery because he, like, at one point tries to crucify Angelo in the virtual realm.
Yes.
Which, like, if you think you're Christ, why would you try to crucify someone else? I don't know. This movie doesn't make any fucking sense.
This movie was not... I had a really hard time. I told you. I literally was rewinding every, I don't know, probably 10 minutes. Because I totally was zoning out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I gotta go back. Okay, I gotta go back. Because it was too much for me. No, I wasn't interested. It wasn't great. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
And it wasn't scary. I mean, the whole premise of what it could be is scary. We've seen there are other movies out there about virtual reality that are terrifying.
Yeah.
This one was not.
Better movies with virtual reality. Out
the
there.
premise of it, when Angela's first talking about it, and they're talking about how virtual reality can take over the world, and it can be this, and it can be that. It's definitely there. They first marketed it as being based off of Stephen King's short story, The Lawnmower Man. But you said that you read he sued them.
Yeah, the only part of it that even remotely was like his story was when he attacked the man with the lawnmower. And that's it. So Stephen King was like, no, fuck you guys. You can't put my name on this. It has nothing to do with it. And so he sued and won. And then he actually sued again. So they took Stephen King's name off of it. But then there was like a home release or something that had it still on there.
Oh, no.
So he sued them again for that.
So he won twice?
Yeah.
Go Stephen King. That's crazy. How dumb was that they did the home release without making sure it wasn't on there? Huh?
I know. Really dumb.
Yeah.
It was New Line Cinema, too.
It's Stephen King. I just wouldn't mess with Stephen King. I mean, come on, people.
Especially, I mean, by the 90s, Stephen King was like the it guy, which I think is why it made so much money in the box office. Because they
used his name.
Yeah, it had his name attached to it, so people were like, yeah, Stephen King. And then
they get there and they're like, oh, wait. He did not approve.
Well,
it was nothing like his short story.
We need to just do a Stephen King episode. We need to do a couple Stephen King episodes because he infamously hated Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, which is one of the best horror movies of all time.
For sure.
And so he made his own miniseries that sucked balls and everyone hated, but it was more accurate and he liked it a lot better. And I'm just like, shut up.
The thing is, though, as the artist that created that,
yeah,
I guess in a way, possibly.
But if you watch, like, a lot of the Stephen King miniseries that he did were bad. I think the only really good one that people really liked was It. The rest of them, like, the miniseries.
Yeah.
The movies were fine, but, like, when he did the miniseries, there were only a couple that people thought were good. It and The Stand. Those were the two that people really liked. The rest of them were...
The Stand still messes with my head, so...
But, anyway, we're not talking about that right now.
No. So, Stephen King sued. He won. Yay. Good for him. That one scared me just a little bit. Was not expecting it. It's all sunshiny out and thundering like a mother. Huh.
So then, the original Stephen King short story, it was about this satyr.
I read that.
Who worshipped Pan. And the satyr used his mystical powers to mow lawns.
I was reading, and it says that at one point he was on his hands and knees eating the grass and chasing, I forget, it was an animal of some sort. And the main character was like, what are you doing? And he said, oh, this is what we have to do. I was taught this by my boss. We have to make sacrifices. So I'm interested. I would like to read the story because that threw me right off when I was reading that. I'm like, what?
Well, I read this a couple of years ago. The Great God Pan. That short story is one of the most popular short horror stories ever. It's really creepy. And it is, like, Pan is a nature god, but he's, like, fucked up. It's cool. It makes me laugh, like, the journey, how we got to Lawnmower Man, as it exists now, is the Greek gods exist, and then a guy writes a short story called The Great God Pan, and then Stephen King writes The Lawnmower Man about a satyr who kills a man with a lawnmower, and then they make this movie.
But let's not forget, too, there is a part 2.
Oh, yes, there is a sequel, which we probably will never talk about.
Lawnmower Man 2, Beyond Cyberspace.
The only one that comes back, like, reprises their role is the kid who plays Peter.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't read anything about it. I just remember Lauren saying there were 2.
Like, part of me kind of wants to watch the sequel, but also it'll have to be far down the road because this one was...
Well, it's only an hour and 33 minutes. I might be able to handle that.
I feel like
one.
my psyche took a hit. Like, I took psychic damage from watching this movie. No, like, I don't mean that in a punny way. Now I kind of do, actually. But...
It was awful.
It's
It was not a good movie.
Really interesting. A lot of people thought that it was a ripoff of Flowers for Algernon, which I definitely see. There's definitely elements. I mean, Flowers for Algernon isn't supposed to be like a horror novel. There's lots horrifying about it. It's a science fiction book. Did you ever read that?
I don't believe I did.
It's horribly sad. Because unlike this movie, Algernon is the mouse.
I think I did read that, but I think it's been a very long time.
Well, the main character in it, I can't remember his name now. It's been a while since I read that. He gets super, super smart because of the treatments, but then he degrades.
I read it.
And that's part of what makes it so dark, is because he reached greatness and then he felt himself lose it all.
Yes.
And then he was...
Like, he knew it was happening.
Yeah.
And that's horrible.
Yeah. So... But that didn't happen in this movie. He turned into Cyber Christ, or Cyber Antichrist, and wanted to kill everybody, I guess.
Crazy!
Yeah, so Lawnmower Man. Have you watched it? What did you think?
Watch it! It'll be fun.
Is this your favorite movie ever?
If it is, why? You gotta tell me why.
I think alcohol should probably be like a prerequisite to this movie. I think if me and James had sat down like the old days, like we did in the old days, like if we sat down and had some drinks and kept drinking and kept watching, it would.
I think it would have to be a bottle of drink to make it good and entertaining. I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, I'm sure there's.
I think if you, I really think it's funny that you ended up watching the director's cut. Because because the theatrical cut it didn't feel as long. I mean, it wasn't as long.
So long.
So, I don't know.
Dude, I just kept looking at it thinking, why is this so long? What is happening? What is going on? And then you tell me that today. I'm like, what? There were 2 versions? Why? So unfair.
Also, the other thing that I find funny... But I
wouldn't have known about Cyberman, so whatever.
I mean, it's great that it happened this way, because we had, like, stuff to compare and contrast to, which is always good. I just don't understand why the director of this movie felt like it needed a director's cut. Because let's think about some movies that have director's cuts. Okay. I can't think of any. Lord of the Rings.
I was waiting for you to tell me.
Like, I would say Lord of the Rings, but those are like, there's extended editions. It's not really a director's cut. I mean, it kind of is, I guess, but the only one I can think of right now is Justice League, which is so annoying because Zack Snyder can suck his own dick.
22 director's cuts that massively changed their original movies.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Oh, I just remembered one. Blade Runner.
First one on here is Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Okay.
Kingdom of Heaven.
Never heard of that.
2005 movie.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry if you're offended,
Apocalypse
but I don't know what that is.
Now. Superman 2 needed a director's cut.
Like, is that with Christopher
Superman
Reeves?
2 from 1980. Christopher Reeves, yeah.
Okay. Well, people say that's like one of the best Superman movies.
Well, when I think of Superman, that's who I think of. That's who I always think of, yeah. No, Blade Runner's on here. That's number 5.
I knew Blade Runner was a big one.
Aliens, 1986.
Uh-huh.
We are just rambling.
Yes, we are. Yeah. So, wow, we just did an episode on The Lawnmower Man.
Yep. Again, thanks to Lauren. Yep. I hope she watches it. She better watch it. I want to hear her take on it.
I wonder if she's going to watch it soon or if we're going to have to wait.
So, what are we doing next week, Sydney? Wow, Silence of the Lambs.
Wow, that was really cool that you just said that.
I'm going to punch her in her face. She is being so sarcastic and rude to me right now.
Well, why don't we do that? Actually?
Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
That's come up a lot in the last day or two.
Because
I saw your whole post about Silence of the Lambs on the Facebook.
I can read.
You're right. It is one of the best movies ever.
I can read the book and then...
Okay, so we're going to do Silence of the Lambs next week. Sydney's going to read it in a week. You're going to get it done?
Mm-hmm.
Well, less than a week because we have to record early because we got
Question
stuff going on. Sydney's going to read the book and I'm going to watch the movie again. So that's what we're doing.
Yes. Today the pod, tomorrow the world. My name is Sydney Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Snow.
And we're the best.